Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome aboard if you're new. And welcome back to my summer car. I know it's been a few days since I've posted a video on this, which is not how I prefer it, but I've been busy, very, very busy. And not with something else, with this. So I've been working my butt off, making money to buy parts and upgrades. As you can see, we're kind of in pieces right now. It's a little bit of a mess, but that's on purpose. So I did my best to make all my money completely legally. No stealing or anything, no prison time, none of that. So that's kind of the goal and probably why it's taken me so long to get to this point. So now that we are here, I thought we would do a video where we upgrade the Satsuma engine and suspension completely. So what we've got is brand new racing rally suspension. We've got all the top end engine parts. I've bought new parts for everything that I didn't already just recently replace, and everything else has been repaired. So we are good to go. We've got pretty much everything we need to completely deck out the car as far as performance goes. So that's what we're going to do this episode. Just got my spare battery here. I just cycle them back and forth and it keeps them from going dead every once in a while. Alright, so then we'll also have to tune the suspension, but I think I found what's probably a pretty good tune, so we'll see. So we're going to go ahead and get started on putting this back together, and I think the first step we want to do is get it back on its tires. Come on. There we go. No. Well, okay, well, is it going to lift? Probably not. No, we want it about here. No, I want it straight. When these have all the wheels and suspension off and you lift them up off the ground, they like to slide around a lot, so have to be very, yeah, see, it's sliding off the jack already. No, stop it. Now what I can do is I could use both of them, or probably what I'll end up having to do is, instead of doing the front and back, I'll have to do one side at a time. Because hopefully it'll be less likely to slide away if I lift it up by the side here. So we'll do that. And I did do a test live stream the other day. It seemed to work out alright, so that means I might be inclined to do more in the future. We'll see. It could be pretty fun depending on what I'm doing. I think it's a good way to kind of hang out while I'm doing the boring stuff like jobs and, stuff I wouldn't normally record. All right, let's see how much of this stuff we can fit in our backpack. All of it. So it's going to be very awkward doing the front and rear and on each side instead of separately. We didn't want to drop both of those. We need one for the other side. Okay, so we got a coil spring and a shock for the rear. And then a replacement strut for the front. And same for over here. And hopefully once I get those on and tuned, they will handle the road much better. It'll be easier to stay on the road at speed. So we're just going to get started getting this stuff back together. and we will see how it goes. I may have to record this over a couple sessions just because the healing's still being pretty, really pretty disagreeable, like my car is. Alright, come on. What if we try just the corner? Can I not get my jack now? Oh, probably because I'm in tool mode. What if I just try the corner? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can still bolt it on, but it's a lot easier to maneuver around and attach the parts when it's not completely on the ground. Alright, let's see. Sorry, just trying to adjust my microphone. My voice is obviously a little quiet. I can't talk a whole ton. 12. So I suppose this will be a probably a quick run through of putting all this stuff back together. Oh, I had it there for a second. There we go. Sometimes it's easier to just try and get it in the right spot instead of trying to manipulate the angle to be just right. When I first started playing, I thought everything had to be angled perfectly to fit in. Turns out that's not the case. There you are. Alright, and then lean through here. 12. Oh, I keep going that way for some reason. Right, there we go. One new shock and spring done. Now these are supposed to be adjustable, I assume, the screwdriver. Yep, okay. So we'll do these as we go along. Where was it? I'm going to try doing what I found for it online, because it would take forever to manually go through and try and tune this. So let's see, for the rear, blue is supposed to be the max minus 5 ticks. So I guess we're just going to turn that until it stops turning. Right there, and then minus 5. And then red is supposed to be at max for the rear. So I'll just crank this all the way over. Alright, there we go. I don't know if that's going to be good or not. We'll find out. We can always use it as a baseline if we want and tune our vehicle from there. Let's, where did I put my drum brakes? Okay. Because they're not here. They're not in here. They're not in my inventory. I've got my front brakes. Take another look and make sure I didn't miss anything here. No. No. Okay, when I save, I'll have to see about figuring out where they went to. That's weird that they disappeared. But that's fine, I can figure it out. They're not in the... Okay. Just wanted to make sure. And they're not under it. Alright, well, I guess those will go on later then. That's fine. Not too worried about it. I have learned to live with the jank quite well and to fix what's broken, so we'll get through it no problem. Nope, not quite there. Maybe there. Yeah, it's probably not going to stay on there very well, but we don't need it to for long. Come on. There we go. That's not going to work, is it? What size are these? Are these 12s? Doesn't want to tell me. Yeah. Get these tightened in. Nice and stop it. I said nice and snug, not nice and tweaky. Get this spring in, and then we'll get this shock in. And that was that a 5 or a 6? 6. Come on. Man, I remember trying to find these the first time. Not easy. Okay, you can stop sliding around now. Alright, now let's get this one done. I really hope that was turning because I couldn't tell. I might redo that one just to be sure. And that's why I wanted the car jacked up a bit. Makes that stuff a lot easier to do. Yeah, I'll deal with the bodywork later. Alright, here we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Alright, so all the way up and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now it's the same as the other side. That's what's important. The tuning we can work on if we need to. Alright, there we go. Rear end suspension is done. Now let's see. Man, what time is it? Just perfect time to save. Okay, I'm going to save and figure out what happened to those brakes that disappeared. Because if we can get those rear tires on, that'll make it a lot easier to lift up the front end. So I will see you in a few moments. Alright, yeah, they must have fallen through the ground because they were at the dump, so car's just having a bit of a fit here. And I'm just trying to get it into a spot where I can put those drum brakes on. Because if I can get these rear tires on, it'll make a huge difference as far as lifting the car up for stability. No, not under it. Would you listen to me, please? 14. Alright. One more. Alright, now the question is, do we jack up the rear of the car and try and put the tires on, or do we just stick them on there and hope that that lifts the back of the car up? Because knowing in this game, they'd probably explode off or something. Let's get them ready. Let's see. We've got... Those are our inspection tires. Here we go. These are our rally practice tires. The other ones are for racing. That way we've got fresh tires on there. I don't have to worry about starting a race with worn out tires, so we'll get these out here now. Now, normally you would not want to put it under the kind of bumper shroud on a car. That would cause things to break. Cars, well, at least most cars have specific points on them. Come on, I just saw you. There we go. 13, of course. Fine, you can be second. Get these on nice and tight so they don't fall off. These are going to be our rally practice tires. They're just on the wheels out of the barn. I think they've got the same offset as the racing wheels I've got, or close enough to where they've got no offset. They're just kind of flush with the body. They don't stick out. Keeps our wheelbase narrow. Gives it a nice classic look. There we go. Now, the rear can stand on its own. I cannot remember, did I have to attach the brake lines back here or not? Cannot remember. Suppose we'll find out. I know I do it at the front anyways. Just get this up front. Oh, stop it. Now with the back tires on there, hopefully I can lift the front up and it won't slide around all weird. No. Just want it in the center, please. As close to the center as possible so it can be balanced. Stop moving. Nope. Not lifting it by the bumper. That would be bad. There we go. And then once we've got it rolling, we can push it back into the shop so we can put the engine in it, or we can just leave it out here and bring the engine out here on the hoist and put it in there. Either will do. That's not going to work. What am I doing? Obviously not paying any attention today. So let's start getting this back together. It's nice being able to carry this around with me. Get this snugged down. Oh, don't do that, please, car. Well, at least since it's on the tires, it only slid a little bit. It didn't go flying. Oh, what size do we need for that? And that's just that one bolt, I believe. Alright. Get this tie rod back on. Pick it up, please. You're being difficult. Alright. Get that snugged down. And I don't think it tightens on that end. It's just a twist. Let's see. And now our new front. Come on. You know you want to go up in there for me. Come on. You're just falling all over the place, man. I'm going to have to try and put it in from here. Yes, I know it's not facing the... Actually, is this even the right one? No, that's the front right. That's why it's not working. I'm stupid. Gotta remember, it doesn't matter for the back, it matters for the front. Oh, nope, you don't go there. There we go. That is not supposed to be there, but cool, we'll roll with it. We need a 9 now. Get this bolted down. This may end up going across a couple episodes depending on how long it takes. It is obviously going to be a full rebuild. And then that 7 we need is, we're going to need a wrench or a spanner depending on where you are from. Because we cannot get a socket over a nut that is on a tube. There we go. Now our brake line's attached. What else do we got? Are my front discs missing also? Of course they are. I didn't see them there, but I guess we'll get this other side put together, and then I will get my front discs also. Game likes to punish me, I guess. See, I try and do things the right way. Try and avoid crime. Try to not break the law or make the police cranky. I'm nice to most of the townsfolk. And it still does me dirty. And these battery boxes just keep exploding everywhere. They never like to stay in place. All right, let's get this other side put together. Need to actually do what I normally do and just start carrying it around with me. It's easier that way. That way I can just put it down where, not that one. I can just put it down wherever I'm working. What size? 10. Alright, get these ones in. And that was a 12, I think. Yep. Get that one in tight. And then we need our wrench here to tighten our brake line down. Don't want those to be loose. That would be very bad. Very bad indeed. Come on, I know you're facing the wrong way, but work with me, man. Maybe it wants me to put the tie rod in first. I mean, it would make sense. That's where it bolts down, so. It's not that I'm complaining. I'm just complaining about me. Oh, there we go. I wonder if those kept my alignment. Oh, I don't think I tuned that other front one. Let's go ahead and get those tuned now. Let me just check my notes here. Alright, so the front is supposed to be blue to max. And what these are doing is they're adjusting our dampening and our rebound. Okay, and then red is going to be max -5. There we go. Now let's do this other one. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then dang, I need to stop bumping into that. If it doesn't work, then we'll tune it as we go until we find something that does work. Actually, I think this is supposed to be -5 on both of these. Maybe make the front suspension a little softer. Alright, I'm going to need to find my front brake discs now. What time is it? 1 o'clock just about. I suppose that's a good time to grab some lunch here and take care of our needs. So I'm going to do that, and I'll see you when we're ready to get back to work. Alright, now we've got our discs, which also had fallen through the ground. Unfortunate, but we'll deal with it. Alright, we won't tighten those down yet. You know, I cannot remember if the half shafts attach attached to the engine on their own when you drop the engine in, or if I'm gonna have to take them out or not. I don't know. For now, I will I'll stick them in here if it'll take them, just so I can tighten those bolts down for now. Those are 14. Where'd that out of the disc go? My inventory, of course. Where else would I put it? I get that one in. And that one in for now. We can take them out later if we need to. Now let's get these tires on here. That's a 13. You do this enough times, eventually you just kind of know where stuff is. It's kind of nice, actually. Pop this back on. Let's bring this with us. And get these ones snugged down. And we will have a rolling vehicle again. And there we go. Rally suspension acquired. See how it looks. Seems like it sits higher than it did before, factory. Aw, man. Yeah, those look nice in there. I dig the red and yellow color scheme too. Nice. Alright. Looking good. Let's get that other half shaft in here. Did I forget to put that one in? Not the one I wanted, but okay. I did forget to put it in. Oh! I didn't mean to throw it at the car. You're gonna make me take the wheel off to do it? Or did I already tighten that one? Oh, I already tightened that one. Guess I just thought I put a half shaft in there. There we go. Don't want to go with just one of those. That would be bad. We don't want a one-wheel drive vehicle. Alright, there we go. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to get started rebuilding our engine with our new parts and our repaired parts and our upgrades. Alright, so we got our block here. Let's go ahead and just pop this plate off for now so it'll sit flat. Pick up some stuff that we'll be needing. Not sure how much of it it's going to let me pick up, but we'll find out. That and that and that. All right, let's see what we got here. We're just going to drop some stuff down here for now. Just sit somewhere, please, out of the way. Thank you. Would be very kind of you. You too. Got too many of those already. Alright, put the crankshaft in. Come on. Can't remember if it wants me to put these on in a particular order or not. It's so far away I can't see what I'm doing, man. Oh, there we go. Where did 2 go? Oh, 2's there, okay. Right, there we go. We'll get these bolted down at the size 9. Sorry if I seem a bit out of it. It's still just recovering and not sleeping super great, so. But I wanted to make a video, so here we are. Will you accept the piston now? No. Take it. Okay, I've got the rest on me. There we go, and that was 4. Well, that one wasn't being picky at all. There we go. They're being a little less picky now. Right, let's get these bolted down. Alright, there we go. Let's see, what do we want to put on next? I don't think we need to do anything else inside the block, so I suppose we could stick the oil pan on it. Where did that go? I had a brand new one here. Is everything just falling through the ground, or am I blind? Yeah, because it was sitting right here. Man. Alright. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go searching for parts. Because I had everything sorted out and organized, and I don't, if more than just the brakes are missing, then I don't know what all has fallen through the ground. Because oh wait, never mind. I'm just blind. It's sitting right here. Never mind. We'll do a bit more work then. I was just going to call it, because I was going to have to go searching for more stuff, but actually, you know what, we'll wait to put that on, because it'll sit a bit flatter this way. Alright, and we've got a head gasket here we want to make sure and put on. This end should be brand new. Get our head on here. Let's get that bolted down. Same size as before. It'd be interesting if somebody made a mod where you had to actually tighten these bolts in the correct order, depending on what you're doing. I'm not saying that this is the correct order, I'm just doing this because I can. Alright, let's see, we got, let's go ahead and stick our, come here camshaft, we're going to stick you in there. And you are a size 5. You're the little tiny guy. Tiny but mighty. Let's get you snugged down. There we go. Headbutt the counter for luck. Let's grab our... Okay. I think I really am missing something else this time. Unless it's... Nope, in my inventory. That's how out of it I am, apparently. I keep forgetting everything. But that's okay. Don't want to let this sit idle too long. Pun not intended. Alright, now... That is probably going to have to probably be tuned again. But we'll save that for later. So we'll just stick this on here for now. And then once we've got it in the car, we'll worry about getting it tuned, because we're going to have to tune the carburetor as well, since we got a new one. That'll definitely be at a later time, though, because we got a lot to do first. What the... That is not how that's supposed to work. Okay, I'm very confused now. Pretty sure I bolted that down. Why is it just coming apart? Or is it being janky? Is it going to make me take it all apart again to get it loose? Yeah, I can't move the head at all. Alright. No, you know what? I should be able to unbolt the... Yeah, head without... Put those back down. Maybe I can take it apart as one, not have to take everything apart. Okay. You don't want the head gasket to go on. Oh, no, now you do. Okay, head gasket. Head. Attach to block, yes. Tighten it down again. Turn that around so it's easier to work on this side. I actually may not need to tune these valves because I can't remember. I don't think I actually replaced that part because I just bought a new one not too long ago. So that one might be okay, but it's going to have to be tuned for probably other reasons anyways eventually. We'll just leave that off for now. Let's see what we got. Yeah, let's go ahead and get our oil pan on there now. Lift it up a bit. It'll give it a bit of an awkward angle, but it might make it easier to work on. You know, this engine's small enough that you could probably manhandle it around like that. And let's go ahead and get that snugged down now. So we don't forget. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's see what else we've got. We've got a new fuel pump. We'll go ahead and get that on there. May need to, oh, where are you going? I didn't tell you to go down there, man. may need to undo those bolts on the front of the oil pan. We'll see. Let's see, what do we got? We're going to need pulleys. We're going to need this camshaft gear. Oh, 10, not 9. Alright, and then we'll get the lined up. There we go, the timing should be lined up for that. Can't remember for sure if the timing changed. I don't think you can really replace that. In the game, I mean. Oh, it's going to want the cover on for that. Let's get our timing cover here. Let's see if we can sit this a little more comfortably. There we go. Now we can see what we're doing a little bit better. Nope, not through it. There we go. And then we'll get our water pump on. Alright, let's not put that on yet. That might cover up bolts we need to see. So we got 6. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting something. I'm obviously a bit out of it today, so hopefully I don't miss anything too important. And a 7. Those look alright. That's an 11, huh? Okay then. Alright, and our water pump pulley. Then let's get our alternator on here. Size 10 for that one. Alright, and then, alright, let's get our belts on here. I don't know if that's the new one or not, but we'll find out. The other one wasn't. The other one was pretty new also, so it's not really a big deal. Alright, let's get this adjusted down tight. So I'll go all the way in and I'll back off too. We'll see if that works. I cannot remember exactly how tight it was last time. Tighten that down. Then we'll also want to do this other bolt here for the bracket. There we go. Alright, let's see. What do we got next? Anything on the front here? I can't see immediately. Da-da-da. Oh, we did miss one thing over here. And that is our distributor. I don't know if that's going to be adjusted the same as last time or not. It looks like it's not in the middle, so we'll tighten it down and see. And we got a new oil filter to stick on here. Put that on. And the spark plugs are pretty new, so I think those will be okay. Can't be too wasteful. Alright, there we go. The fancy new carb. What size we got here? 7 or 8? One of the two. Alright, let's see. Trying to see all these. Okay, got the top ones. Pretty sure that's all of them, I think. Would be a bit easier if it was hanging on the hoist, I suppose, but maybe we'll do that next. It's about that time anyways. I may have to take the oil pan off of it though, because it's sitting at a weird angle. Oh, there we go. I can use the battery. That's entirely safe. Don't worry. But that's not going to work because that's as high as it goes, so I may have to take the oil pan off anyways. I don't know if I can get this to snap. No, it's not going to snap on from there. Maybe from the ground. See if we can use a beer case to balance it. I think it attaches this way. No, don't be a bugger. Stop bouncing. I'm trying to be gentle with you, but... Okay, beer case is too thick. I'll try a battery. I knew I should have just did like I usually do and attach it all onto the hoist at the start. Oh, that might work. Okay. Now let's see if we can get this down to where it'll attach. We're close-ish. Oh, I saw a little snap there for a second. Oh yeah, it needs to come down some more. If it can. Alright, maybe not that much. Where was this attach point at? Can't even see it. But that one is there, so... getting close. That's as far down as it goes, I think. Oh, no, it goes down a little more. Or does it go this way and I'm just being stupid? I don't know, maybe I'm just too tired. No, because in the car, the carbs face the back. Yeah, so it would be this way, okay. I'm just not looking at things properly. Brain is not braining today. And that is always a problem. Oh, you're supposed to let go of it. Is it having an issue because it's at such an angle? Seems like it's close enough, it should be able to recognize it. Or do I have to have the... I don't think I have to have the rocker cover on there for this to work. Doesn't even want to... Oh. It wanted to for a second. Shouldn't make a difference, really. Oh. I could be missing the other hook that is on the exhaust manifold because I'm an idiot. And that would probably be why it's not attaching. So let's get our exhaust manifold bolted on. Yeah, there we go. Now we've got our bolts showing up. I'm obviously brain dead, so excuse me today. I'm making a good showing of myself. Obviously. Alright, and then we need a 10. There we go. Thank you, battery. You were very helpful. Just for that, you can go on the charger. Not that you need it right now, but... Alright, yeah, I think what we'll do for this episode is we'll try and finish getting the engine put together. And then the next one we will do installing the engine. Any tuning we might need. And test drive, I think. So let's see what else we've got to do here. We still got to do the transmission and stuff. Not worried about tightening the valve cover because that's probably, you know what, let's go ahead and just tighten it anyways. Otherwise it might just pop off if I bump it wrong or something. 7. Might help if I get the right one. Wouldn't want this falling through the ground like the brakes did. Still not quite sure why they fell through the ground, but nothing else did. Pretty odd. Definitely gonna have to tune that as well, I'm sure. And this is just another spare part now. Unfortunate, but true. Let's see, what else do we got here? We've got our flywheel. And we've also got... Oh, what did I just drop that down there for? Let's grab our tools. Nope, wrong one. Alright, there we go. Will it still let us put the plate on? Probably not. We'll probably have to take that off because I wasn't paying attention. Of course. There we go. Well, I guess good thing I remembered that now instead of later. I realized I didn't have anywhere to bolt the starter. Let's see if it'll let me put that on there now or not. Alright, cool. And I think that one gets a ground hook to it. I can't remember which one it is. I think maybe it's that one. We'll see. Nice. I like how that bolt just goes right through the gears. Alright, let's see what next. Alright, get that bolted down. That is fugly, but I suppose we can always have Fleetari fix it later if we need to. Alright, let's see. See if it'll let us attach this yet or not. And get our inspection cover. Put that on before we tighten the bolts. Just making sure I didn't miss anything there. You know, we'll tighten that down now also. We can loosen it later if we need to. Right, that looks good. Then we've got, should have one over here also. 10. There we go. Get our drive gear stuck in here and bolted in. What size are you, buddy? 7? No, it says an 8 and a 6. There we go. Even with the number thing, I still get it wrong half the time. Alright, so let's see what we got left. That's exhaust. Alright, these are all spare parts I don't need. Except for the hoses. Oh, that was our oil filter from before. We'll save that. It wasn't really bad yet. I just figured I'd switch it anyways. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for this portion of the engine. Alright, there we go. We will, now that I've spent forever manipulating this into position and fixing my panel that I messed up, we're going to see about setting this engine in the car to finish off the episode. And hopefully this is, why is the door just opening for no reason? Hopefully this has been, oh, I'm not trying to move you. Hopefully this has been entertaining. Maybe learned how to put an engine together a bit quicker. Down, down, down we go. When we stop, we hit the subframe. Eventually. Oh, we're close. Very close, actually. Not bad. I wasn't expecting to be that close to it. Oh, I'm seeing bolts, I think. Let me see. Size 11s, I think. What are you doing facing that way, man? Are you upset at me? Have I been mean to you? Did I say 11 for that? Yep. Nice. Alright, so this episode we managed to get the suspension fully upgraded to some nice rally suspension. And then we also managed to get the engine completely rebuilt with some new and upgraded parts. Let's get that reattached so I don't forget. And then I'll take care of some business on here. And then next episode we will get the engine tuned. I'll probably just throw the exhaust in. You've seen me do that before anyways. I'll probably get we'll tune the engine up, get it running nice, and take it for a test drive and see how it works with these new parts on here. And also I might have another surprise. We'll see. So if you are kind enough to watch until the end, I'll give you a little hint of the surprise that I have waiting for next time. And it's just back here behind these barrels. Yeah, see that? So we'll do that next time also. But that's going to require special tuning, I think, so we'll get around to that eventually. But anyways, I'm going to get my toolkit here. Get up here, get this hoist off of here, and then get the exhaust on and get ready to see you next episode when we get this tuned, hopefully running, and a nice test drive down to get, well, hopefully a rally cage or a roll cage put in it here. It'll have to be on Monday, so I'll pass a couple days doing jobs or something. We just about died of dehydration there because I wasn't paying attention. So what happens when you're working on a car. You lose track of time. All right, let's get this off here. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And hopefully you will join me for the next one when we get to test this awesome beast out for the first time. So let me know down in the comments if you think I missed anything, or if there's anything I need to do before we take this out for a test drive beyond what we've already talked about. Alright, so until next time, take care, be safe, and I will see you later.